Alright, Banshee Fever 750 part 2. I'm having problems. I can't upload any videos that are over 15 minutes, so I don't know what the heck's going on with that. I gotta dig deeper and find out what's going on with that, but I'm limited to 15-minute videos. I'm having problems. So, part 2 of our Kickstarter rebuild. Like I said, this is a 5-minute job without having to explain it. Alright, so right where we left off was this guy here. Okay, the board at the spring and the new bearing sit in. Okay, I don't recommend probably a moly in there. Probably like a lithium, something thinner, because the moly is pretty thick, and you know, if it does, you know, during cold temperatures, that might stick a little bit. So we're going to try lithium inside this board. Okay, I'm going to go get something to clean this out, and we'll get back to that. But I'm going to try some lithium in there, and I think I have some around there somewhere. Bear with me. Let's see what we got. And we'll give that a shot with the old carb cleaner. There we go. Like I said, I prefer the WD-40. I want to get that junk out of there. Alright, bear with me. Let me go get something to clean it out. Alright, dentist tool. I'm just going to run it around in there a little bit and see if I can, well, there we go. Just pack it in there and move it around a little bit without, you don't want to score anything either. You don't want to damage anything in there, the bore. So, you know, I'm being gentle. Then once I got it packed in there, I might give it a little twirl. Pick up any debris that's in there. That actually wasn't too bad. Not too bad. So let's see. Here we go. See, I'm going to use some white lithium grease. White lithium grease. We're going to put some of that in this board here. Let's see. Boy, it's cold outside. It's like 20 degrees. It's 20 degrees out there. We're down here in Illinois. And the furthest part of Illinois. And it's, tell you what, it's cold outside. It's a little after midnight. Well, it's actually probably close to 1 in the morning. Alright. You gotta be ready for race day, right? Alright, now if you're gonna do this, you know, the safe way to do it, if you're gonna be doing stuff like that, you know, you put some glasses on. There you go. Huh? Now I look like a professional. And you give that a little spray. See that? And this is just a white lithium, because I don't want that spring binding up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the moly on the outside of that. So I got the lithium on there. We got the moly. Video 1, you remember we did it. We put the moly on the brush. I'm going to do this. Put that moly on there. This stuff is just incredible. This is made for stuff like this. You know, open gears, splines. I put the lithium inside because, like I said, I want to keep that, you know, where the spring is. I want to keep that light, because this moly is you know, it's a really thick. It's really good stuff. It's real thick. Look at it. You can see it's like tar. But I mean, it's what they use on splines and everything else. It's made for heavy-duty applications. You know, where when you want that grease to sit. So see there, we're gonna spread it around. Alright, now we're going to take our new hardware kit, and remember in the previous video we measured the old and the new parts. On the previous video, video 1, we measured the old and the new, and there was a significant difference. The O-ring was damaged, so let's put that back. We're putting all this back in reverse order. So the O-ring was damaged. The original O-ring, you know, was pinched. You know, thus allowing, I mean, it still wasn't bad, but it was flattened on one end, so that would cause, you know, dirt and debris to get up in there. So we wanted to get rid of that. Now the tricky part, okay? Now what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to cant this back a little bit. See that? See if I still got you in the video. Okay. All right. We got this tip back just a little bit. And then I'm going to put the spring. Spring goes in first. Okay. And there's no specific way, but the machine flat side, I'm putting this on the out, facing the ball bearing. All right. Now the ball bearing, you don't want to lose this. So you can always, I mean, if you really want to, so you make sure you don't lose the ball bearing, you can literally just give it a little dab of grease. You know, this is a little thinner, but you get the grease and that'll kind of hold it in place, like so. Okay, now you notice, let me tip this back a little bit. We don't, okay, so you see what we got going there, right? We got the O-ring in place, we got the moly lube, right? Spine grease. And then we got the lithium inside to keep everything, keep the grease light in there. You can always, I would recommend doing this once or twice a year. It's an easy job. It's just taking long because, you know, I'm talking through the video, but really this is a simple thing. All right, so we got the bore lubed up. I made through a little bit. And these mating surfaces, you know, it doesn't hurt. Now, let me see if I remember which way this goes. All right, so in the resting position, the ball bearing would be, see where this little pin is right here? Where it's been, they drilled it out, and then they put a pin in there with this, that's in there a certain amount, so that the ball bearing doesn't completely go in the hole, but it's just enough just to lock it in place. So we're going to push this in. All right. Now another trick is, if you want, I don't have a flat one, but take a flat screwdriver and you can just push that pin in just a little bit without marring it. All right. There we go. A couple taps and it's in. Oh boy, that was nice. I don't know if you heard that, but like I said, this is my kid's Banshee, and you know, we want to make it safe. You know, she was complaining that the Kickstarter was kicking back on her and stuff like that, so we wanted to stop that from happening. But look at that. That is nice. Let's see if it locks in place even without the bolt. Look at it. Beautiful. Okay, so now, since that's snapped in real nice, I'm going to spin this around this way. Okay, you can see it went back the right way. See it? Look at it. Watch it snap. Oh boy, that's beautiful. Should be happy about that. So now, I'm going to put it back in my vise, and what would I do without my vise? Okay, and then we're going to put that bolt back in, the one, there you go, can you see it? Alright, so now we've got this new bolt. Now, I thought about putting some Loctite on there, you know, but then I'm thinking, you know, if I ever have to get this out, what a pain in the arse. I didn't swear, did I? I said arse. What a pain in the butt it would be to break this bolt off in there. And then you got to buy, and then, you know, because of this, you got to easy out it, torch it, or whatever. And if you don't get it out, you know, 40 bucks. So what I might do is, I thought about putting some anti-seize in there. I'm thinking what I might do is, because the threaded portion is in the back. So, you know, the one thing I don't like about this bolt, you know what I might end up doing? What I don't like about this kit is, there's one thing I don't like about this kit now that I'm just looking at. See this edge here? Do you remember, if you look back on the video, rewind it a little bit, and you'll notice there was a machine surface in there. So, if you got a machine surface and the OEM bolt was smooth, what does that tell you? That this is going to mar up that surface. You know, so that's something to think about. See? You know, I've got a tendency to overthink things, but I'm looking at it, and I'm saying to myself, should I put this bolt in? I mean, we'll try it and see how it looks. But I'm actually thinking this is going to mar up that machine dovetail that's in there on that pin. I don't know if I want to do that. But this bolt looks like it's pretty jacked up. Let me see. We're going to file this down just a little bit and maybe put this original one back on there. And then the guy I bought the kit from, I'm going to kind of give him a little ear chewing and let him know that, you know, although he did have an OEM spring in his kit, he should have gotten a different bolt. But what I may do is, I'll see if I can order this bolt individually, and you know, and what I'll do is I'll just go on ahead and put a new bolt in there. But for now, we're just going to put this one in, alright? I'm going to file it down real quick. We'll take care of that problem. Alright, you see we got the file. Just don't want to get the threads. But I just want to knock off there's these edges here. Like I said, I don't want to mar up that groove surface. I mean, I could probably run that bolt in there with the threads and it'll scratch it up a little bit. But, you know, by doing it, I think you're going to have binding issues. And maybe, you know, eventually it's just going to mar up that inside. And then the return, you know, it's just not going to... It's just going to start, there's going to be another host of problems. Alright, so we fouled it. I'm going to molly it a little bit. And you know what the heck? I'm going to molly the threads because I don't want that to ever bind up in there. Alright, so bada bing, bada bam, bada boom. So we're going to do this. Done. Alright. Let's see. Kickstart, rebuild. See that? Very good. That should make you happy. To make my kid happy, my kid's happy, I'm happy. If I'm happy, my kid's happy. Look at that. It's done. Like I said, there's this torque spec. This is good and tight. I really don't like that method, but there's no torque spec for that. But for the other bolt, for this guy here, the 12, there's an actual torque spec for that. So, like I said, sorry about the crunching noises. German Shepherds love their bones. And like I said, my dog is into her bone right now. The other dog he's into his bone. And, you know, just like I'm into this ATV project and we're up here playing around in the garage, you know, why would you want to take that away from anybody? Alright, so here's the other splines on the Banshee. We'll just give that a little dab of the molly. Okay. Alright. And then we're going to put our Kickstarter right back in place. Okay, see these scratches here? Okay, so I might reposition it, but then I'm going to lose a little bit of throw of the kick. So we'll have to play with that. See that? That right there, the original owner had it there and it was causing that scratching. Now if you have a really nice clutch cover, you're going to be upset about that. But I can understand that you get more of a throw by jacking it forward. You know what I mean? You get a full round kick. Or if you go back a little bit, you lose a little bit. But we're going to try that because I like that better. See that? That almost looks like that's the way it's supposed to be. You lose a little bit of throw, but if your Banshee ain't starting at a half a kick, then you gotta go back to the drawing board, huh? Anyways, all right, Banshee Fever 750. I'm sorry I had to do it in 2 parts, you know, this is part 2 of it. Rebuilding the Kickstarter. It's a pretty easy deal to do. So I did a couple extra steps. It's just the way it goes. I like to make sure everything turns out really nice. Alright, Banshee Fever 750, over and out.